வல்லே குருமுதம் அவிரதமானந்த வல்லே குருமுதம் அவிரதம் ஆனந்த வல்லே குருமுதம் அவிரதம் ஆனந்த வல்லே So this was the first two lines of a composition in Ragam Neelambari by Maharaja Swati Tirunal. Swati Tirunal is one of the great masters of Carnatic music. Neelambari is a pure traditional classical South Indian ragam. This is Sampradaya Sangeetam, but what we sang, it doesn't sound harsh or crude or flat or nasal. It sounds smooth, it sounds polished. So there is this wrong impression that for something to be classical, it has to sound very crude or aggressive. If it is smooth, then it becomes light. So that is a very wrong impression which we would like to address. So the same Pallavi, third Sangati, we can sing like this also. Anandavalli. That is, if you write in English, A-N-A-N, Anand, but N becomes L, na or Au. No, and excessive shaking. Even the head, the body, everything will start shaking. Then it is classical and hit talam like that. So that whole crude packaging, presentation, is what restricts Carnatic music to a very small circle of people who are accustomed to that. From childbirth, they listen and they are conditioned to that. So like in food also, if you feed a baby food which has excess salt for 5 years, then you give the same baby a normal food, they'll say, it will taste insipid. So that is because of conditioning only. So even if decades of conditioning has happened, what is wrong is wrong. Even if the wrong is a vast majority. So we'd like to address a few, and how Ucharanam is our topic. Ucharanam is pronunciation, but pronunciation not only lyrics, Akaram, during Alapana, during Neraval, during Swaram, during Tanam. In every aspect, this can be applied. So we'd like to speak about that a little bit. I am from Kerala, and my mother tongue is Malayalam. And Malayalam is one of the most heavily accented languages in India. So I can sing Kannada or Telugu or Tamil perfectly, but the moment I start speaking English, it's very obvious that I'm a Malayali. And I don't like to put on a fake accent, I speak like me only. So in Malayalam, for example, the letter N and L, we make it very rounded. So for example, the color, we say color. So color, la, it's not la, it's a color. Or, I saw a funny movie, funny. So na, N becomes na. So in fact, Amrutha has the unenviable task of going on correcting me when I speak English. So the English becomes, ഞാനൊരു English medium school. I studied in an English medium school, So this is the heavy Malayalam accent, which you can take the Malayali out of Kerala, but you can't take the Malayalam out of a Malayali. There's a saying like that. And many comedians, they use the Malayalam accent just to make funny videos also. So with this background, I have made some videos during the pandemic just for Malayali people. We will address, each language comes with its own set of baggage. So Amrutha will address some points about Tamil. So Malayalam, we have the five hard letters, which is very, there are some subtle aspects, but there are some very prominent aspects. The prominent aspect are the ka, cha, ta, ta, pa. These five letters, when Malayalis speak, they become soft. So for example, if a Malayali thanks somebody, thank you. So thank ka. Ka is the ending. We say thank you very much. So thank you. So it becomes G. Thank you. Similarly, my ancestor was a Maharaja called Swati Tirunal. So that is Ta. So Swati Tirunal. When a Malayali says his name, he says, Swarnal. Swarnal. Both the T's are gone. And who sang that Swarnal song? Ramendran. So Ramachandran, the cha is also gone. So one Swarnal Kriti sung, Kriti, not Kriti. So Swarnal Kriti sung by Ramendran. So this is the background I come from. So it was an uphill task to do justice to lyrics in Sanskritam, in Tamil, in Kannada. In Malayalam, Kannada, Telugu, people have one advantage because we have the Alpa Prana Maha, the Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, and Nga. So that variety is there, which is a big blessing. But I was trying to teach a Malayali friend of mine, Vara Leela Gana Lola by Saint Tyagaraja, which is it's a celebration of his lyrical genius. The tune is so simple, but symbol. See, symbol is again another. So the tune is so simple, but the lyrics they're studied like diamonds. They just shine so beautifully. So each charanam has one syllable which keeps repeating. Varalila Gana Lola Surapala Suguna Jala Bharita Nila Galahridalaya Shruti Mula Sukaruna Lavala Palaya Shuma Muni Chintaniya Swant. Like that we go on, then we come to Nta, so which is a hard ta. Muni Chintaniya Swanta. I'm teaching my Malayali friend. He sings Muni Chindaniya Swanda. So it is not Chindaniya Swanda, it is Chintaniya Swanta. Narakantaka Nigamanta Charanakanta Kushalavanta Rahita Danta Kujavasanta Santatanta Kastuta. So Santatanta Kastuta, because Sandadanta Kastuta. So Sandadanta Kastuta. Then we tried and tried for 25 minutes, just this one charanam. Then I said, it has around 11, 12 charanams. They all have exactly the same tune. This charanam don't sing. So that was the only solution. So that was just a few points about the problems faced by Malayalam speakers. Now, what about Tamil?
As all of you know, we don't have the differentiation between the ka, kha, ga, gha while we write the language. So when we write down lyrics in Tamil for any language song that we learn, there is this danger of tripping and saying the wrong. Say for pa, pa, ba, bha, we might say ba instead of saying bha, or pa instead of saying pa, or ka instead of saying kha, or tha instead of saying ta. So the confusion between all those consonant syllables are very prevalent among Tamil speakers and people who write down lyrics in Tamil, unless the number of the letter is written below. So if you write a ka and write 2 below, then it denotes kha. If you write ka and you write 3 below, then it denotes the ga, and so on and so forth. We hear this composition a lot in concerts. For example, Vatapi Ganapatim Bajeham Vatapi Ganapatim Baje. It is not Bajeham, it's Bhajeham. So when we really pay attention to these nuances, similarly with the Kriti Raghuvamsha Sudham Buddhi. So the first line itself, Raghuvamsha Sudham Buddhi Chandra. We cannot sing it as Raghuvamsha Sudham Buddhi Chandra. So on the surface level, it sounds like a melodious rendition. It sounds like the lyrics are in place. But it's like saying the exact wrong word for something that can be pronounced accurately. Another example, from the Kriti Anjaneya Raghurama Duta. Ganadashakandara Sodara Shula Kandana Shubalila. It's very hard for me to sing it like this. Ganadashakandara Sodara Shula Khandana Shubhalila. And a very important line that is literally mutilated by many of us musicians. Janaka Sutadi Vimochana Lola. It is Janaka Suta Adhi. Janaka Suta Adhi. Her plight, her problems were taken away by Rama. It is not that Janaka Sutadi, it is not Sita was annihilated by Rama. Janaka Sutadi Vimochana Lola. So these kinds of things we really have to pay attention to, especially being Tamilians who are familiar with writing down lyrics in a certain way. If we take one example in the Telugu language, Bhavanutana Hridayamunaravinpumu. If I take that Kriti, Bhavanuta is how it should start. See, I'm not saying we should go close to the mic and make that Bha as pronounced as possible, but not Bhavanuta, it is Bhavanuta. So to just take the pronunciation to a more accurate level. As a Kannada speaker also, it kind of pains me when we sing Purandaradasa compositions and the mudra comes. For example, Purandara Vitalana, Purandara Vitalana, Purandara Vitalana. So what could be changed in this? Vithalana. So Purandara Vithalana. It doesn't take too much effort to bring that Mahaprana syllable to the fore. And especially when it's such a common word that you find in all his compositions. And not only, that's not the only one, but it's a prominent lyric that needs to be corrected.
Another, there are so many aspects. We'll just cover a few of them. One is closing the mouth. So for when we say so even Vatapi, what Amrutha said, Vatapi Ganapatim Tim Bhaje Ham. So it is not Vatapi Ganapatim Bhaje Hava. So how? It's not how hum. Bhaje hum. So, but we are so used to hearing this other sound. So many. And Dikshitar songs are full of ending. Siddhi Siddhi again. Siddhi Vinayakam Anisham Chintayamyaham. So Siddhi Vinayakam. Yeah, I saw the Vinayakam. so it's not like. So when Sangatis come, so we have to stretch some short syllables, elongated, especially in Dikshitar Kritis, Harihara Putram and all that, we have to sing Harihara Putram. There's nothing we can do because song is constructed like that. But at least in the beginning, we can sing Siddhi Vinayakam Anisham Chintayamyaham Siddhi Vinayaka. So Siddhi, there's nothing we can do about the elongation. But at least we have shown once it is Siddhi Vinayaka. So okay, we know this is Siddhi Vinayaka. But Kam Anisham, we can definitely close our mouth. And it physically, it feels so good in our mouth when we enunciate things correctly. Otherwise, the face also, along with the pronunciation, the facial mannerisms also. So, one of my in fact, two of my biggest heroes, which I have said in public many times, like my two eyes, one is M.D. Ramanathan and one is Madurai Mani Iyer. And their music is so full of so much that attracts me. But pronunciation was not their strong point. Madhuramaniya pronunciation just goes out of the window completely. But M.D. Ramanathan, he sang the lyrics correctly in Telugu, in Tamil, in Sanskritam. Perfectly he sang, but only the enunciation, because he was obsessed by his guru, Tiger Vardacharya, who sang everything as though he had one Kolkata in his mouth. You know? So, so just you keep your tongue touching the roof of the mouth. This flavor. So this flavor. But actual lyrics, what if you pay attention to what M.D. Ramanathan sang, it was more perfect than almost anybody else. Only the enunciation was a problem. So this problem, there Sarvam Brahmamayam Re Re Sarvam Brahmamayam. Then one beautiful Sangati. Sarvam Brahmamayam Re Re Sarvam Brahmamayam. So Sarvam Brahmamayam. Oh, it sounds bad, like so. Sarvam Brahmamayam. And when I'm just singing this, I feel like closing my eyes automatically. But when I keep my eyes open, when I'm just singing this one little line, Sarvam Brahmamayam, I can see so many faces in the audience going like that. Because it's just so exquisite, just sa, ni, sa, it's not even one big deal, but just neatly enunciating the syllables, it gives a very clean feeling, which is, unfortunately, this will, if you sing like that, they'll say, oh, this is not classical, it's light music. So if you can identify the lyrics, that means it is light. If you sing in Shruti, it means it's Hindustani. And if we sing Shuddha Swaram, they, in all Indian languages, it's called Shuddha Swaram or pure note. They'll wrongly call it plain note or flat note. Flat note is completely wrong. Other Motta Swaram they'll say, but actually Shuddha Swaram. So for it to be Shastriya Sangeetam, it has to be Ashuddham or what. So we can't agree with that. So we have noted some, I'll tell you also habits which we pick up as young people. However, our gurus teach when we begin, that influences us a lot, one. Then the singers whom we are influenced by, that also, there are so many people who may be learning from somebody, but they'll be obsessed with this guy or that guy, and when they open their mouth, immediately they'll start sounding like them. For me, I had that problem with M.D. Ramanathan. Even if I go to a friend's birthday and I start singing happy birthday, or we sing the national anthem also, I'll sound like M.D. Ramanathan. So I had to work a lot. Now I can sing like M.D. Ramanathan if I want to, but I had to work for more than 5 to 7 years just to get out of that consciously, because without my realizing everything, one MDR flavor used to come. So I learned for 18 years with Dr. Mangalampalli Balamuralikrishna sir, who had composed songs in all the 72 Melakarta ragas by, he started in 1945 like that. Before 1950 he had completed all 72 Melakarta songs and published a book also. So one of the very, very dissonant ragams, it's called Tanarupi. So da ni sa ri ga, 5, all these notes come close to each other. And he deliberately composed a song. It is on Sri Rama, but the whole structure is composed like a Dikshitar song. And in the lyrics he added the word Tyagaraja also. So he said, when I sing, people will be confused. No, I start singing, they feel it's Dikshitar. And then Tyagaraja comes. What is this? They wonder. But it's a Murali song only. Like that he used to tell. So but many of these songs he composed in 1940s, 50s and never sang them. So Balamurali Krishna is a classic example of a person who did not go to school, who did not have the benefit or the opposite of formal education, but he did his best till the end to sing in a sophisticated way, the lyrically also, and the swaram, everything. He has his own set of mannerisms. That is another side also. But to do justice in Kannada or Malayalam or Telugu, so Balamurali Krishna's 1950s, 60s recordings, if we hear, you can find that he doesn't close his mouth. So older recordings. So he also had to work, and as the later 1970s, 80s came, the pronunciation became more and more sophisticated. So Balamurali sir was teaching me the Sthanarupi song, which starts like this. Sri Rama Sada Bhajeham. So Sri Ramam Sada Bhajeham, both he didn't close his mouth, because though I was learning it in 1997, he had sung it for the last time in 1960s or sometime. So when he started teaching me, I had never heard the song before. So he sang Sri Rama, like that. I had written the lyrics already, so I knew it was Sri Rama. So I just dared to close my mouth. And I sang Sri Ramam. So he says, correct, he said. He pointed a finger at correct. Because then he realized he didn't close his mouth. And when I closed, he, instead of saying, hey, what are you doing? He remembered that, oh, he used to sing like he sang 40 years ago. So that is Thanarupi. So there are, of course, there are 10,000 examples we can give about So now...
So the next syllable that we'd like to cover is the n sound, which the n with the dot below, which gets converted to L with a dot below a lot. Ralga Puravihara Jaya Kodand. It's hard for me to say it like that. Kodald. If you listen very carefully, it's Ralga and Dalda that we hear. It has to be Ranga and Kodanda. Complete na and the na sound have to be given predominance there. Then there is this popular Neraval line in Orangashai. Bhuloka Vaikultha. Also, Vaikuntha. It is not Vaikul, it's Vaikuntha. So please don't feel that we are trying to nitpick or find mistakes. It's just to point out some suggestions for more accurate pronunciation. We might be doing a lot of mistakes ourselves, but we try and minimize them as we go along and as we evolve as musicians. Then if you take a word like Pannagendra, which comes in Ninne Namiti Naya Simendra Madhyamakriti, Pallagendra, and the thing about these lines is these are the Neraval lines in the song. So you go and sing Pallagendra. At first, it does not sound like it is wrong, but it is not even Palla, it is P-A-N-N-A. Pannagendra Shayana. This next line. Pannagari Vahana Pannagendra Shayana. Then in Bantu Riti Koluviya Vayyarama, Tulta Vinti Vani Tunta Vinti. It takes again less effort to correct that kind of a pronunciation. Similarly in Kaltiki Sundara Kantiki. It isn't ill again, it is in to be accurate. in the Kannada Kriti, Sada Enna Hridayadalli, Sada Ella, it is not Ella, it is Enna. Sada Enna Hridayadalli Vasamado Shri Hari Sada Enna Hridayadalli Nadamuruti Ninna, not Nilla. So Nilla is a different word entirely. Ninna Pada. And there is also this ga to ha conversion that happens when we sing some Tamil songs. For example, Muruha, Muruha.
அது என்ன ராகம்?
Saveri sir. So, Muruga, Muruga, Endral, not Uruhado, Uruhad, Urugado, Undan, again the Uldan, Undan, Ullam, Anga Ullamla the la sound, not at Undan. Similarly, in a different language, Pranamamyagam. So it is not Pranamamyagam, Pranamamyaham. Pranamamyaham Shri Gauri Sutam. And then there is another lyrical deficiency that goes by in passing in some renditions. Shri Mahaganapatiravaතු Mam Shri Maha. Again, on the surface level, you don't really notice that it's not Shri there, but it is She that you're hearing. So, firstly, Ganapati is a male god. We cannot say she for him. So, but Shri, Shri Maha. Similarly, here, Shri, Shri Chamundeshwari, female goddess arnalum sollakodadu. Shri Chamundeshwari Palayamam. Again in the Marivere Kriti of Patnam Subramaniya and Shanmukhapriya Ragam, Sannutangashi Venkateshani. I'm not saying it's that pronounced, but the R sound sometimes just gets erased in the middle. So we just have to take care to make sure we include the R sound where it deserves to be or where it needs to be included.
It has to be deliberate because including us, we are so used to a certain way that deliberately we have to make the effort to analyze what we are singing, and slowly it will catch on, definitely. Another thing is the vowel sounds, which is again a very, like consonants, how abused they are, same thing happens with vowels also. So vowels, for example, Gopala, Gopala. So if we write Gopala in English, it is G-O-P. But the way people sing, one W will also come. Gopa, G-W-O, Gop, it is not Gopala or Govinda. So Govinda, Govinda. So that sounds crude, no? It's a God's name only. So how can we say, Ayo, Govinda, Govinda? So that while singing also, Gopala Gokula Vallabhi Priya Gopa Gosuta Vallabham Charanaravindam Aham Bhaje Bhajaniya Suramuni Durlabham Gopala Gokula Vallabhi Priya Gopa Gosuta Vallabham. So it has bha. So many of these points we covered are there just in this one line. Another thing is Emi. So Emi will become not EMI but YE. Yemi, Ya will come automatically. So that also, Emi is different, Yemi is different. So we have to just work on that ourselves. And then, you already said this. Then Varnams. Varnams are, there's an entire topic about Varnams being such sophisticated compositions which are more sophisticated than so many kritis. You can sing a nice Rendu Kalai Aditalam kriti much more easily than you can sing Viriboni, though it is a Varnam. But we are, as children, after Varishe, Geetam, Alankaram and all that, we are taught Varnams. So many times the child is not big enough or sophisticated enough to understand the implications of Varnams, the Gamakams, the structure, so many things, even the Sahityam. So first itself, we are taught to chew. Ninnu kovo ti ye yo go go na ga 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 no go 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 ra ga ga ga. So we are ya. So the movement should ideally happen in the throat only, not with the mouth or with the chin. So suppose I hold my chin without moving. So should not be there. So this is again something not just Mohanam Varnam, all vi re bo wo. So wo separate chunks of these vowels will come in a very ugly way, but we are so used to that we just accept that. But it would be nice for the whole system. It will travel outside the confines of the Carnatic circles if we beautify it little more and present it in a less crude and vulgar way, the lyrics. So then,
So once I was checking with one of my disciples what she's singing as the main kriti for her evening concert one day, and she said, I'm singing Khararapriya. No, what kriti in that? And she says, Ramani. Then it took me some time to realize that it was Rama Ni Samana Mevaru that she was going to sing. And then I said, this is not Ramani, Ramani Samana Mevaru. Just to be careful where the A is and where the A is something that we also need to pay attention to. Then take for another example the kriti Marivere by Sri Shyama Shastri. Invariably in concerts when we listen to it, Marivere, so the Marivere Gati, the Marivere can be sung together. Marivere Gati Evaram Ma Marivere. So to build that breath control or the stamina, one of the things that I practice is sustaining on that note for that duration in just akaram. So if I have to do Marivere, so till the end of that beat, and then in akaram till the end of that beat. Then Marivere. That can be practiced even in A for this particular line. So just things that we can apply to get better at the stamina till the end of that line are some of the things we can include in practice. Then when you have, this was demonstrated a couple of days ago in the lecture by Vidushi Nirmala and Vidushi Gayatri and Vidushi Subhashini Parthasarathy. This line, Daksha Shikshana Dakshatara from Akshayalinga Vibho. Normally we hear it as Daksha Shikshana Dakshatara Suralakshana Vidhi Vilakshana. So once we can try and sing it as Daksha Shikshana Dakshatara Suralakshana Vidhi Vilakshana Lakshya Laksh. So when the gamakams come into play, it becomes hard to do Laksh. Then there is an empty sound, a mute sound there which does not sound good. But where it is possible, Maybe once we can show the sparkle of the vowel in combination with the consonant sound. Similarly for Chakani Raja Margamulundaga. Chakani is not equal to Chakkani. So Chakkani Raja Margamulundaga. Chakkani Raja Margamulundaga. There it is inevitable that we have to get back to the Chakkani, but to sing the double K sound there, the K sound, again makes it as authentic as we can manage with the Sangati in place. Similarly, Chikkani, it is not Chikkani, it's Chikkani. Chikkani Palu. So very minor things like that, if we can just tweak, I think the rendition and the pleasure we get listening to it just increases many-fold.
Even this applies to the people who play with us also. I generally sing with Sri S.R. Vinu. I don't know how many of you were here for our concert. So if I sing Chak, the bow he will also cut. Chak. For that 1 millisecond there will be only tambura shruti. When we are singing Chak, the violin bows fully. Yeah. Chak, yeah.
Chakkani. So it will be the
if I
equivalent
am
of
singing
doing
cha
that.
and she is doing cha, that the sharpness of the silence is gone. So it will be nice if we sing with different people and find someone who has the same wavelength artistically, and then we sync together. The result is something very, very beautiful and aesthetic. So, Namiti, you can say about it and more.
There is another feature I'd like to bring to your notice. It's when the song or the line ends on a particular vowel, to stretch the raga after that in the akaram. For example, Kapali Padinapram. We can do it in E itself to make it sound as an extension of that. And there is also the other level that I've heard in some places, Kapali Arina. So the alapana syllables somehow find their way into the akaram or the extension of the phrases at the end of lines, which is something that we can definitely consciously avoid. Sir mentioned the au sound at the end of lines. For the Kannada Atatala Varnam, so the thing about this, it doesn't sound wrong at first listening. Or take any of the Shama Shastri Kritis that have multiple nammitis.
Namiti.
Sada nammiti ni meenakshi versus not singing it as Sada nammiti no. See, we see people's heads move immediately, but we have to sing nammiti there, unfortunately. Sada nammiti ni meenakshi sada nammiti. Even when you have a sangati there, we can try not doing naumi, just because the vowel is an easier sound to produce than a consonant in faster phrases. Nam. So if we practice in the ragam, then it helps to execute a phrase like this as accurately as possible. Sada nammiti nammiti ni meenakshi.
I think Syama Shastri is emphasizing, I want you to bless me not later but now. Now, Meti.
And there is another syllable that kind of goes missing when we sing, the syllable ha in songs. For example, the Navaratri Kriti Saroruhasana Jai, not Saroruhasana, Saroruhasana. So it takes a little more effort to say the ha sound before the when we are singing a bunch of vowels and consonants. Saroruhasana Jai. Melodious lyrics are almost in place, but if we try it as Saroruha Saroruhasana Jaye Bhavati Samodam Ambanamami Saroruhasana Jaye. It just makes the listening pleasure and the accuracy even more.
Then these were points about the pronunciation. But lyrics themselves, none of us are born knowing Telugu, Tamil, Sanskritam, Malayalam, all these languages, Kannada. And earlier we didn't have the facilities either. I'm not talking about people older than us, but younger people especially. Now we have the internet. We have so many social media platforms where we can interact with native speakers from different places of the world, different places of the country. Many helpful people have made videos about cooking and so many things which we can find on YouTube. So there are so many sites which give word by word meaning of at least Tyagaraja Kritis, Dikshitar Kritis, which are there only. But we have to make the effort to go log in and search the songs we already know. Then we realize how much more work we have to do. So one of the most popular compositions by Maharaja Swati Tirunal is Deva Deva Kalayami. So Deva, the God of gods, Kalayami, I am contemplating. What am I contemplating? Te Charanambuja, your lotus feet, Sevanam, serving. So I am contemplating about serving your lotus feet. But you listen to 100 recordings of this or live performances, at least 95, it will be Deva Deva Kalayami Te. So it will never be Deva Deva Kalayami. Actually, it should be Deva Deva Kalayami and Te Charanambuja. But we need not make it contrived. Deva Deva Kalayami Te Charan. That's enough. So after Kalayami, one pause is there. Kalayami Te. Instead of Kalayami Te. Then if we sing Te, we have to sing Charanambuja Sevanam also. Like this, there are so many examples of lyrical problems in. So even Vatapi Ganapatim Bhaje Varana. Then Syamvara. So Varanasam Varapradam. So Varana Syamvara. So Syamvaram has no meaning. Varanasam Varapradam. We can sing it correctly. If we everything is about just being deliberate and applying our mind, what God has blessed us with, little more, and we should care for the topic. It's like something you just sing something and go away. So that casual attitude in relationships, in our work, in everything, just chalega. In Hindi they say chalega. Konja apdi irukku. No, not like that. We must strive for perfection. Nobody might attain perfection, but we try. Jagada Nantaka Araka. So Nantaka is one segment. Araka. In fact, I have made a video in YouTube explaining, somebody who knows Sanskritam, they can easily write an article giving the meaning of Jagadananda Karaka. It's a sparkling, brilliant composition by Saint Tyagaraja. But to sing, actually practically sing the lyrics correctly, Just Jagadananda Karaka, you can search on YouTube, Prince Rama Varma, Jagadananda Karaka. 1 hour, 35 minutes. I've made 3 videos, half an hour, half an hour, half an hour. So even this lecture, the time given is not enough for just that one song. But Jagadananda Karaka, Devadeva Kalayami, Sarasaksha Paripalaya, Bhogindra Sainam, Endaro Mahanubhavulu. There are so many songs like this which I have during lockdown when we had nothing to do, sit at home. So instead of just watching funny videos and eating and sleeping, some good work I did by, it is a learning process for me also. So in fact, I have never sung Jagadananda Karaka in public till now. So I was learning that song, then I realized there are so many, like if we blink our eyes, we are human beings, we are called Nimisha. And divine people, celestial people, gods, devas, they don't blink. So they are Animisha. So Animisha, if we sing as Nimisha, it gives the opposite meaning. So Shuddham and Ashuddham. So like that, there are more than 20 occasions in just the Jagadananda Karaka song where mostly we sing the opposite meaning. The A, where we should not sing A comes. Where we should sing A, it doesn't come like that. So it's like walking through a minefield, the Sahityam. But it is possible to sing it correctly. Maybe we can reduce the tempo a little bit. We don't have to just belt out everything at one spanking pace. So that is with Jagadananda and Akhilandeshwari, and a beautiful song. Akhilandeshwari Raksha Mam Sri Akhil. So when we sing Akhilandeshwari again, we sing Sri Akhilandeshwari. But we are going to the next line. So Raksha Mam Sri Agam. Then we don't need to sing Sri. So Raksha Mam. So there we drop the Sri because we are going to the next line. That is another. And Endaro Ma Hanu Bhavu and Lu separate. So 3 choppings have already come. This is another song which again I've made a video, but not as elaborately as Jagadananda Karaka. This also 45 minutes, 1 hour we can analyze note by note. So Patita Pavanudane Paratparuni Gurinchi Paramarthamagu Nijama Gamuto Nupaduchunu Salla Pamuto Svaralaya Diragamuna. So every segment is wrong. So Patita Pavanudane Paratparuni Gurinchi Paramarthamagu Nija Margamuto Nupaduchunu Sallapamuto Swaralayadi Ragamuna Teliyu. So it's a small linking correctly, but we have to apply our, once we start making the effort, it comes naturally. It won't, the first it will be difficult, it will be contrived, it will be the opposite of whatever we are used to. But this is one line of one song of the Agaraja. So if you look at the Pancharatnams, they are like Ratnams waiting to be punched by us. You know, Pancharatna. So we should not punch them, we should treat them with love. You know, we should make them shine like Ratnams only, not abuse them. So you can also.
I think mainly, especially in the Pancharatnams, this has to do with the polka of the swarams, or the direction in which the swarams move. For example, the same swaram that Sir demonstrated, sa sa ni pa, ri sa ni pa, ga ri sa ni pa, ma pa pa ni sa ri, ga ri sa ri ma pa, pa ni sa pa pa ma ri ma pa ni pa, sa ni pa, ri sa ni pa. So since we are so used to cutting the swarams like that, without our knowledge, we tend to do the same for the Sahityam, and it doesn't work that way for those magnificent compositions. I don't want to sound repetitive, but I want to highlight one of the swarams from Jagadananda Karaka. Srishti Sthiti Antakaraka Amita Kamita Phalada Asamana Gatra Shachi Patinuta abdhi madahara anuraga raga rajita katha sarahita. That is the stanza. सृष्टि स्थित्यन्तकारकामितकामितफलदासमानगात्रशचीपतिनुताब्धिमदहरा. Invariably, nura gara gara. So we ಇದನ್ನು ಗರ ಗರ ನಡು ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯತ್ಲ ಅನುರಾಗ ರಾಗ ರಾಜಿತ ಕಥಾ ಸಾರಹಿತ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದಟ್ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಸ್ಥಿತ್ಯನ್ ತಕಾರ. ಸೊ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಅಂತಕಾರಕ வரைக்கும் ஒரு வார்த்தை. So to be just aware of, see, sometimes it might skip our notice in one or two of those places, which is okay, but a majority of these lyrics, if we can just get into place, especially such popular songs which are time and again destroyed, especially in the group singing, we should kind of take some responsibility to spread the version that is authentic and true to the composer's intention. In another composition in the Ragam Varali, Kavava, Tapatraya வெயிலற நிழல் தரும் வான் தருவே என் குலகுருவேவா. It is Van Taruve, which refers to Kalpataru. But we hear this version sometimes. Tapatraya veyilara nizhal tarum veyilara nizhal taruvan taruve taruvan taruve. So it doesn't make sense to split it. It is Tapatraya veyilara nizhal tarum van taruve en kulaguruveva. Similarly, if we go to the popular kriti by Papanasam Shivan in the Ragam Kambhoji, Manikam Vairam Mudal Navaratna Baranamum. So Navaratna Abaranamum. So I'm not saying Abharanam here, because in Tamil sometimes the hard syllables get softer in the entire song. Navaratna Baranamum Manikam Vairam Mudal Navaratna Baranamum, and so on and so forth. Like the Pancharatnams, I feel another composition that definitely needs deeper research and working on is Bhavayami Raghuramam. So if we look at the Natakuranji line, Dinakaranvayatilakam Divyagādhisuta savana Vanarachita subha. So it is predominantly split as Vanarachita. Nobody made any forest there. It is Divyagadhisuta, who is Vishwamitra, Savana, his Yajnam, Avana, one who protected the Yajnam of Vishwamitra. Divyagadhisuta Savana Vanarachita Subahu Mukhavadham Dinakaranvayatilakam Divyagadhisuta Savana Vanarachita Subha. And for the sake of more clarity, once we can even do Savana Avanarachita Subahu Mukha, and just highlight that vowel sound needing to be cut there. And another point in the same song, Bhavuka Vitarana Para. So it's a predominant place for stopping and doing an akaram. Bhavuka Vitarana Para Apanga Leela Lasitam. And then Panga Leela can be avoided to sing Apanga. Bhavuka Vitarana Parapanga Lasitam. And another kriti of Sri Tyagaraja, Raghuvaranam Noma Ravataguna. So Maravataguna is the word there. Raghuvaranam Noma Maravataguna, whatever the Sangati is, to put in Maravataguna in its entirety there, because that's the composer's mentality. We don't know if Sri Tyagaraja composed Raghuvara with this last Sangati in. So if we are taking the liberty of learning that Sangati and singing it, I think it really helps to be aware of where we cut, how we extend the vowel or the consonant sound, depending on the Sangati as well. In Banturiti, Banturiti kolu viyavaiya Rama, Banturiti koluvu iyavaiya. It doesn't have to be that way. We can sing it together, but Banturiti kolu viyavaiya Rama, Banturiti kolu viyavaiya Rama, Banturiti. And we can kind of avoid saying kolu there. There is no kolu in place. Koluvu iyavaiya is something that we have to highlight. Similarly, I think with this talam structure, or ju puju chedi nyayama, or ju puju chedi nyayama, it just takes that moment to move the ju chedi together and not sing ora ju puju chedi, definitely not ora ju puju chedi nyayama, or ju puju chedi nya, or vaati adu kaamchittu adutha vaati. Or jupu ju chedi nyayama. Some purists might say, no, you cannot move the sahityam around, you can't do that just for the sake of the lyrical perfection. But why not? Sangeetam, our Sangeetam is so lyrically predominant along with the melody. So why can't we take the effort to do both simultaneously where required? Again in Raghuvamsha Sudambudhi. Aghame ghama Ruta Shrikara, Ghamegha Maruta Shrikara. Again, Maruta needs to be together. So there are so many examples that we can keep quoting, but for want of time, we'll move on to the next topic, which is going to be about Madhyama Kala Sahityam, a very small glimpse into that.
We'll both sing together. So we'll sing a line from a song by Meenakshi Sutta, which was popularized by the great Chembai Vaidyanatha Bhagavatar. It's a full mouthful of Sahityam, but still we can, even in fast speed and lot of lyrics also, if we apply our mind, we can do justice. That's what we hope to prove.
गणेश चतुर्मुख अमर गणाधिप सुरगण गुरुकुल प्रमुख नारद शुक व्यासांबरीश प्रह्लाद वसिष्ठ विभीषण शौनक मार्तांड वरुण सोमाग्नि अष्टदिशि संरक्षक तारक मंडल सप्तमहोदधि भुवन चतुर्दश दर्शित विश्वरूप विनोद प्रभो.
We can sing a little faster also.
गणेश चतुर्मुख अमर गणाधिप सुरगण गुरुकुल प्रमुख पराशर नारद शुक व्यासांबरीश प्रह्लाद वसिष्ठ विभीषण शौनक मार्तांड वरुण सोमाग्नि अष्टदिशि संरक्षक तारक मंडल सप्तमहोदधि भुवन चतुर्दश दर्शित विश्वरूप विनोद प्रभो रक्ष मां शरणागतम्. पक्षिवाहन पद्मजारमण पन्नग शयन पद्मनाभ प्रभो रक्ष मां शरणागतम्.
Thank you for starting the applause. That was the idea. So we are hoping somebody will clap. Thank you. No, but you only started. So I was looking who will start. Yeah, Raghuvara already answered. So next, so we are almost nearing the end of our allotted time. Some people, when they get a stage, they won't leave at all. So next concert will start half an hour later. So we promise you not to do that. So Alapana, even in Alapana, there is no single template for Alapana. Suppose we sing a raga like Amrutha Venkatesh, which we are a little scared to sing because of Chennai weather. How we handle the akaram and the syllables combination, and the tempo. Each ragam has an inherent tempo. Some ragas will sound good only if sung little briskly. Some will sound good only if sung little slowly. And some ragas like Amrutha Vishnu will sound good in all tempos. So, taranana, 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 so with lot of syllables. Taranana, taranana is nice. Full akara. Free flowing, full blast. This works, but we can't sing like this if we sing Yadukala Kamboji, for example. So this is very Nidana. This is actually Amrutha Vishnu was for the applause. This is not. But yeah, you have nice Jnanasthan audience. Yeah, for Yadukala Kamboji you clapped. So I remember attending a concert by Tanjavur Shankarayar who was saying, Chinna vayasile Kamboji paadu, vayasa arche Yadukala Kamboji paadu. So we have the energy to belt out a Kamboji, but we have the richness of experience with age to sing Yadukala Kamboji. So, and for Raga Alapana also, so many sounds come other than A, E, and normally some people say it is Narada, Dharana, Narada, Dharana. Some people sing Hari. So different syllables come. But many other sounds also come, like which are, we don't know where they came from. Maybe somebody was limited in their vocal abilities, but then it got transmitted. So both my heroes, Sri M.D. Ramanathan and Sri Madurai Iyer, they're full of very great variety of sound. When I heard Tiger Varadacharya recording only, I realized, oh, okay, now I know where he got it from. Where Tiger got it from, we don't know. And Madurai also, in fact, G.N. Balasubramaniam, he was very close to my family. So he used to say that when Madurai Iyer sings, because of I, U, and he would actually sing I love you also. So, so just hearing that, we feel like a child kissed our cheek. We feel so happy. So, so for that, applause will come. So, but I am addicted to Madurai. I can say that openly. All my gurus knew it also. But his specialty was that, like the nerve of the ragam he had in his hand. So even if he sang phrases like Varise, we have Sariga Mariga Mapa Gama Pada Mapada Ni Pada Ni. If we sang Kiravani, for example, just Sariga Mariga Mapa or Sariga. Then come down. So, Pamagari, Magarisa, Garisani, Risani da, Sani da pa, ni da ba ma, da ba ma. It's just adukka swaram, but each one, each knot phrase, each note will be dripping with Kiravani. But that was Madhuramani. I am not Madhuramani. So it is much easier to adopt their flaws or negative qualities or mannerisms or idiosyncrasies than take the content which is like pure gold. That is much. But people identify, that is why people who do impressions or mimicry, they are so successful because we can caricature people very easily. Everyone has mannerism. Pa, da, pa, ma, ga. If I want to imitate Balamurali Krishna, pa, da, pa, ma, ga. Immediately, pa, da, pa, ma, ga. Because pa, da, pa, ma, ga, pa, ma, ga, re, se. So the Balamurali Krishna, pa, da, pa, ma, ga, M.D. Ramanathan. 1 second is enough. But they are just the outer covering, the packaging, which is not what we should. That both Amrutha and I, we were very fortunate to have learned the veena. So when we learn an instrument, immediately we go beyond the outer mannerisms and packaging and just access the actual content of what the notes are being sung or played by anybody. So it gives an X-ray into the vision, the musical vision of the artist. But even in instrument, enunciation is there. That is another topic altogether. See, for example, if a singer sings Kamboji, na na na, stop, na na na, and violin, na na na, violin, will continue. That whole effect will go. So that is why when we listen to historic recordings, I listen a lot to Madhuramani or M.D. Ramanathan. Some phrases, exactly what the singer sings, the violin plays, he's played exactly the same thing, but it doesn't sound as good as the singing. And in some cases, when it's M.S. Gopalakrishnan or V.V. Subramaniam, they play the same phrase, it will sound even more beautiful than what the singer sang. They are not playing anything extra. That is the intonation and the sophistication, the polish. So that is another topic. But that same, because voice is also essentially an instrument. So that same modulation, what we can do in an instrument, obvious instrument like veena or violin or flute, we can and must bring in our voice than just belting it out in the same energy. So yeah.
I think one of the ways we can avoid taking just the mannerisms would probably be repeating that phrase in our own voices, consciously trying not to sing it with that kind of a phonation or producing the same kind of sound, but the same sangati in our own voices. Because each of us have such different voices and which can be very malleable and made to be very flexible. So if we do it in our own voices and actually feel that sangati when we sing it in our own voices, I think that helps a lot. One aspect I wanted to highlight among the 2 or 3 points I want to make are the extent of akaram in an alapana. We are told to practice akaram a lot. So if we do akaram like this, and then apply this akaram to all the ragams we sing. For example, since I was doing Kiravani, I'll start at Kiravani. Not too bad. So if I superimpose the same akaram for, say, a Bhairavi, somehow Bhairavi needs a softer akaram and a little more inclusion of syllables. It is not So that thank you. The difference in the extent of akaram. And another point is the usage of this at the end of the phrases. So naturally we tend to close the mouth after most phrases, but we need not do that when the sound is still on. The technique is to stop the sound and then close the mouth. For example, see, maybe we don't notice it visually in concerts, but 80 to 90% of concerts do tend to have this element, which we can definitely work on. Same thing. Na, 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 na. So avoid the M sound at the end. And when we sing faster phrases, whether it is in songs, Neraval or Alapana, it is very essential to know how to modulate or make the voice slightly softer while executing those phrases. For example, so if I try the same phrase, see the harshness in the tone. So I can move away from the mic and still do this. It does not reduce in harshness unless we have this inbuilt mechanism of knowing where to modulate. So the soft and loud tones are something that we need to work on as we work on the pronunciation. This is very much to do with the pronunciation, breath control, volume control, and so much more that goes into the actual singing.
Swaram? Yeah, we are almost out of time. But yeah, you can tell that.
Just one point about Neraval, for want of time again. I want to take this line from Devadeva Kalayami. Jatarupa nibhachela janmarjita mamakhila pataka sanchayamiha varaya. So firstly, when we take this line for Neraval, Jatarupa nibhachela, one who is adorned with golden clothes. Janma arjita, over the janmas collected, mama akhila pataka, all my sins, sanchayamiha varaya. So all the collection of sins that I have collected over the janmas, remove them. And what do we do? Jata rupa nibhachela janmarjita mamakhila jata rupa. So all the golden clothes I have collected over the janmas, you are adorned by. So we are literally changing. And I don't want to name the most prominent artist who did this because it's legendary, his Neraval in this. We can take all those sangatis and remove the mamakhila when we sing the Neraval, or try the same sangatis in Bhuvanatraya Nayaka. See, Jata Rupa Nibhachela Janmarjita Mama. And there's also some renditions which say Janmarchita. It is not Archita, it is Arjita, collected over. Janmarjita mamakhila patak, and so on. Jata Rupa Nibhachela. I'll just take this part, Jata, and the phase that suffers the maximum is the second speed Neraval. So if second speed Neraval panma, Jata du gu 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 patni gi bhaga ga che ge la ga ga Jata du gu 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 patni gi bhaga ga che ge la ga ga. What is all this ga 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 gu 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 going on in the line, right? So we are Jata Rupa Nibhachela. We should be able to hear that lyric during the singing. The same thing we can do is Jata Rupa Nibhachela Janmarjita mamakhila pataka sanchayamiha varaya Jata Rupa Nibhachela. So somehow that feeling that only if we do this gagaga gugugu we'll get applause irukku. So see, you disproved it. And we also have the strength of the percussion there, who are going to be creating a crescendo at that point anyway. So nammalum katti avalum adichi adu or extra or effect poi yaarkum poi serama porthukkum chance irukku. So it's good to kind of tone this down and have them do their magic here and let them shine too in this juncture.
That's same goes for Swaram also. Enunciating the Swaram, we can sing very Gama da da pa ma gama ga re sa ni sa re gama pa da pa ma gama pa da ni sa re gama ga re sa ni sa ni da pa ma gama da pa ma. So gama da pa ma gama ga re sa re gama pa da pa ma gama pa da ni sa re gama. That I have feeling will come. We sing. So we are singing. We are not singing gama pa da pa ma gama ga re sa re gama pa da ni da pa. This is without gama ka. Ni da pa ma gama pa da ni sa re ga re sa re gama pa ma ga re sa ma ga re sa ni sa ni da pa ma gama da pa ma gama ga re sa ma gama sa pa ma pa sa da pa da sa ni da sa da pa sa pa ma sa ma ga re. But each swaram can be written down what we are saying, not ba 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 like that. So generally that vulgar thing which is all pervasive can be eliminated, must be eliminated. And one final point, this is from my side, all the points we shared are just tips how to make whatever we are already singing more aesthetic and more beautiful. These are not tips for success in the career, because there are people who sing off Shruti, who sing wrong gamakams, who sing Sahityam completely wrongly, who have become very successful. So I used to talk to Balamurali Krishna sir about this. So how come this person who can't even sing Sa in place, but they have so many concerts, they have titles, they have Padma Award, Kalanditi, so many things will come. Then he says, see Rama Varma, you are thinking of Sangeetam. Sangeetam is there, let it be. It is Ingitam. Ingitam is diplomacy. How to say the right things, meet the right people, suck up to the right people, feed the right egos. All those things, that determines whether you are successful or not. So otherwise you will just be a good singer. Good singer is different from successful singer. So if you feel, okay, you guys are saying all this, then how come that guy is singing opposite of whatever you said, but he is very successful. So that is also there. It's something which can't be ignored. That's why I wanted to clear. And in English, there's an old saying, virtue is its own reward. No, so you do something good. Okay, if I do this, then what will I get? No, you don't get anything. You get the satisfaction of knowing that you did something good. So I am a Malayali speaker. I sing in Karnataka and in Andhra Pradesh, and I sing a Telugu song correctly. And one Telugu person comes and says, "Oh, it is so nice to hear the lyrics enunciated so correctly by anybody, particularly a non-Telugu person." So same with the Tamil, and Amrutha and her mother who is in the audience, they are Tamil Pulavars. So when I sing a Tamil song, I ask there, don't say Sholli, you say Solli. So Sha, the wrong Sha is corrected. So though officially she is my disciple and I am her guru, I don't see her like, hey Amrutha, take this. No, I treat her like I treat Balamurali Krishna only. So there is no, age-wise she is junior to me. The only area where she is junior to me is age. Even in height, she is senior to me. So, look at so we can always learn. From our accompanists also we can learn. Hari Kumar will say, if you do this corvée like this, it will be better. So always, if we are in the learning mode, we can keep improving. Otherwise, if you are just spewing our opinions and talking, we will be saying same thing again and again, and we will never grow. So we'd like to thank Vidwan Sri Sesikiran and Parthasarathy Swami Sabha for having us. One very big thanks to our amazing sound gentleman, who is, whenever we sing at Parthasarathy, it's always, see now, Amrutha Shruti is G, and I am singing in G also, but in G Shruti also my voice is heard thanks to his amazing sound every time. MG Swami. Sounds always a pleasure, and thank you so much for coming out so early in the morning. So it's nearing my waking up time normally.
Sorry, I'm interrupting a bit here. I just wanted to make one point about, or rather 2 points about the Swaram singing. One being, when we pronounce the notes, it's as important to be accurate as we do in the Sahityam. For example, see, when we sing these muktayams at the end, where we get very enthusiastic about them, Garit Sanida, Nida, so Garit Sanida, it is not TSA. It is not like the lock that the USA people have. No, it is Garit Sanida. And also, the chachari charicha is kind of something that we have overcome over time, but this garit sanida is something that can be avoided, and also the knee sound. Saniri sanida. Some people actually sing their knee as their knee, which are small things we can really work on. So these are the two things I wanted to add, and my part of the conclusion would be for the lyrical accuracy, it is really important for Tamil native speakers or Tamil script writers to learn at least one more regional language. It could be any regional language, just for the sake of the alphabet and the pronunciation differences that we can make to be more accurate. So why should we feel that only Telugu people can pronounce Telugu correct, only people who are well versed as scholars in Sanskrit can do Sanskrit correct, only people who are pandits in Tamil can do correct? We can kind of take inspiration from all that and learn one language that is not our mother tongue to be able to write and to be accurate in pronunciation, especially if we are Tamil. Or write the numbers for the letters like I mentioned in the beginning, and listening to native speakers sing those songs are more or less accurate. So 70 to 80% of the time you'll find very accurate pronunciation by native speakers of those languages. And please don't hesitate to check with scholars of the language about the pronunciation. We don't get any less in improving ourselves in those respects. Thank you again, and thank you to Sri Shashikiran for having us over. Thank you.
And both of us have another interactive session tomorrow at 4 p.m. with
3:30.
coffee. 3:30? Or 3:30. 3:30 in the afternoon, right here in the cafeteria, where you can enjoy coffee and conversation also. You are most welcome to come tomorrow also.
We have time for just one question, and only question, no suggestions or remarks.
Thank you, sir, for your princely style lecture demonstration. Is it necessary to have a teacher in the same language who are well versed? Of course, madam is an exceptional case. Is it necessary to have a teacher in the same who is well versed in the same language?
And definitely, when I learned Tyagaraja Kritis from Balamurali Krishna, being a Telugu speaker, it helped a lot. But I am a Malayali, but I teach Telugu songs, Kannada songs, Tamil songs also. So more than native speaker, a teacher who is taking the effort to learn and understand the meaning of lyrics in whichever language, that is more important. You can be a Tamil native speaker who sings Tamil songs wrongly. Also, there are people like the same with Malayalam also. There are Malayalam, of course, Malayalam songs themselves don't feature much in the Carnatic repertoire. Even people like Maharaja Swatirnal, more Sanskrit songs are sung by him. So it is an advantage if, and like Amrutha said, we need not approach a person only Carnatic musicians. We can look outside Carnatic music field. Somebody might be a literary expert, a poet, or just a reader who reads a lot. So from all sources we can take, not only from our Guru. Only there's this old statement, not something I made, that maximum we can learn from anybody. A Guru, even if the Guru is Superman, is only 25%. So 25% we learn from our Guru. Other 25%, next 25% we get with our own efforts. Then also 50. The third 25% we acquire from interacting with and observing other people in the same profession and different profession. Then also only 75%. The last 25% comes gradually with age and experience. So it's an ancient and very, 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 very important and very accurate saying. Otherwise, if I sing like this and somebody likes me and they feel, oh, you are learning from Balamurali Krishna and you sing. So if I go to Balamurali Krishna, I can also sing like this. No. Balamurali Krishna has 300 students, 300 people sing in 300 different ways. I have taught also, I don't want to say the number, but a very, very, very big number of students, but only Amrutha sings like this. So it is not like my magic touch me, then I would have at least 300 Amritas singing like that. So it is her own effort. So it's a combination of so many things.
So namaskaram. So my question is, in Tamil there is no the Mahaprana, Alpaprana, like in Hindi or in Telugu or in Sanskritam, only Na and Ra as the varieties. So for example, as you said in Kana Kankodi, that Abharanam or
Kana illa, Kana.
sorry. So in Kana Kankodi or in the Abharanam or the Bhakti, those lines were in Tamil compositions where the Sanskrit words are used. So is it necessary to use that Mahaprana syllable?
Tappe illa. So if it is a Sanskritized word, we can definitely use the Sanskrit pronunciation even in a Tamil song. It also depends on majority of the words Tamil larka, Sanskrit larka in the composition. So if you have 80% of the words in Tamil, you can stick to the Tamil way of saying it. If you have a lot of abharanamum, you can say it. Gajavadana Karuna Sadana Shankara Bala அந்த பாட்டுல Pankaja Charana Sharanam Sharanam. So if we say Pankaja Charana Charanam Charanam, it is lotus feet, feet, feet. So Pankaja Charana Sharanam Sharanam. I seek refuge in the lotus feet. Abdin Mathikaratla, absolutely no problem.
A lot of Papanasham Shivan songs
Yes.
are more of Sanskritized Tamil.
Yes.
What a wonderful session. I think this session definitely deserves a standing ovation. How lucid and perfectly demonstrated. Every aspect. I think this should be, of course, we have recorded it. It will be on YouTube and the Parthasarathy Swami Sabha's page pretty soon. But I'm sure that this should be a textbook lecture demonstration for all the students. Please take your seats. Such an amazing lecture demonstration. Sir,
சார் ஒரு நிமிஷம் கொஞ்சம் பொறுமையா அவர் பேசி முடிக்கட்டும்.
Such an amazing lecture demonstration and every aspect that they have spoken. First of all, a big round of applause to Vidwan Prince Rama Varma and Vidushi Amrutha Venkatesh. Our Guru Shishya அப்படின்றதெல்லாம் தாண்டி இன்னைக்கு ரெண்டு பேருமே ஒரு குருஸ்தானத்தில் நம்ம எல்லாருக்குமே நிறைய சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்கா. இது வந்து I think very appropriate for all the musicians also who are here. All of us have learnt a lot. And how many knowingly and unknowingly we are doing so many mistakes. நிறைய தடவை இவா பாடி இவா சொன்னதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப ஈஸியாக அவள் பண்ணிட்டா. அவள் வாய்ஸில் அது ரொம்ப ஈஸியாக சௌக்கியமாக கேட்குறது. It takes a lot to do that. The kind of perfection that they have acquired and how much they have thought about this consciously, and now it has become just a second nature of them. It has just become a part and parcel of how they will actually sing it. It's difficult for them to sing something wrong now. So they have made it that very special. But for others to work on it, I think we have years of practice and learning and unlearning. So which we have to do. So big round of applause once again, and I am really happy that we are having wonderful lecture demonstrations. I think we are really having this year very amazing lecture demonstrations. This is but for many, many years, this is one of the very special lecture demonstration. It will be, and I'm sure all of you have to take home a lot of things. Thank you so much.
So as we say in Malayalam, thank you very much.
Yeah, with his sense of humor, it's always very special to have him. Thank you.